Hello developers, welcome to this Study Jam's Flutter session. Hope you all are doing well. I'm Tanay Palekar and I will be taking you this session. Congratulations if you properly installed Android Studio and Flutter by watching the previous lecture. Don't worry, if you face any trouble, you can share with us. We are ready to help. You can still proceed to today's lecture. Before we start, let's go over a quick checklist. First, make sure you have pen and paper adjacent to you so that you can solve the questions. Second, make sure you pause the video wherever needed and write the code on your own so that you can have better understanding of the code. Now, let's continue to our today's session. Session 2, Basics of Dart. Let's walk through the session's outline. First, what is Dart and why to learn? Second, Dartpad, hello world, comments, data types in Dart, list, maps, variables, final versus constant, operators in Dart, decision-making statements, loops in Dart, function, and the most important topic of the session, that is object-oriented programming. Without learning this, you cannot make the apps, as our Flutter apps are totally dependent on classes and objects, then enumerators and mixins. Okay. When you think of Dart, the picture came in your mind is like this. But today we are not going to learn about this. We are going to learn about the programming language Dart. Now, what is Dart? Dart is a programming language created by Google, used for building various applications and platforms. It's especially popular for mobile app development. That makes sense how we are learning this today. Now, guys, here the cute cutout you see is a dash. Here are some dash facts about it. It's a Dart's mascot. The most interesting one I found was Dash even has an Instagram account. Okay. Here, uh, by clicking on this link, you can also make your own Dash using Dash Star. Okay. This was some off-topic info. Now let's move to our topic. Why to learn Dart? Dart is essential for Flutter. Obviously, easy to learn and it has syntax familiar to those with Java or JavaScript. Strong typing. Okay. What does this mean? Most of you guys may have programmed in C or C++, and you may know a type of error called segmentation fault, which is a runtime type error. And when you get it, when you forget to use ampersand sign in the scanf function. Asynchronous support, okay, we will know about this later session. Then hot reload. I think I have talked about it in the previous session. We'll also talk about it in the next session, that is Flutter UI. Now, what is a Dartpad? Dartpad is a setup, typical IDE, which includes the following component. You can write Dart code in this. Remember, in the start of the session, I said if you don't install Flutter or Android Studio, still you can watch today's lecture. The reason was this. Okay, now let's visit this. Now here you can search Dartpad. Okay. Click on the first link. Here you can write your code. Here it's a console. Here you can see the run button as mentioned. Okay, you can also try some samples from above. And then here you can see the versions of Flutter and Dart which it's using. Also on clicking on this, you can see which packages are included in this. Click on the OK. And it's using a channel stable. Channel beta, and there are three types of channel which you can see. Wait. Oh. Now you can see here's the code. We will write the code in this later. Now let's move to our presentation. Shift F5. Here we can see the same window. Now let's write our first code, which is hello world. We will remove the default one. For output, you can use print statement and here write hello. Fine. Okay, what's the error? Okay, now click on the run button. Here you can see hello world. In Flutter, you can also make games. Here I will show you how. Click on the plain game, run button. It will load in some time. Here you can see it is a brick breaker. I think many of us may have played this game. Here you can also play it. Oops. Here you can see the code used for this. Now let's move to our topic. Here was our output. Comments. Comments in Dart. Okay. The single line comments, which are common. Double backslash, and here you can see. Okay. I will be using VS Code. You can use Dartpad for it. Oh, here is how you can write a single line comment. Like I am single line comment. Using comments make your code readable and understandable for other developers. Now move to the next. Here, how to use a multi-line comment. Okay, this is a syntax similar to C or C++. Here it will be same in this also. I am a multi-line comment. I am a multi-line comment. Here, let's see. Now you can see a different type of comment, which is documented comment, which I will write like this. It will use 3 backslash. Okay, here you can see some info, and you can also mention some classes in this. It's the specialty. If I click, press Control and click on it, it will lead to me this function or this class. Okay, you can see class food. This is the specialty of the command. Now let's move to our next topic. Here you can see info about documentation command. Our multi-line or single line comments begin with triple backslash or one backslash and two asterisks. Okay. Here you can see the next info. Here it's the same code which we have written in the VS Code. Now let's move to an important part. Data types in Dart. Data types in Dart. Dart have main 5 types of data types: numbers, string, boolean, list, and map. The number. Uh, as it makes sense, number is Dart programming data type that used to hold numeric value. Okay. Here are 3 types: int, double, and num. Here's how we can declare them. I will show you in the VS Code. Okay. Click on the numbers. Okay. For declaring an integer, you can use int, variable name equals, and number. Also, for big integers, we can use an underscore as separator. Okay. If I ask you what's this 115 times 0, okay, you may not be answering that fast, but you can answer it fast, as you can say it's about 1 lakh. Now you can also write in hex by using 0x form, which is similar to C or C++. Then next we move to double. While writing double, use double, then variable name, and you can use a fractional number here. You can also write double in the exponent form. We can see the integer use 64 bits normally to store the value. Now you have to calculate the range of the int, okay, and comment it in the lecture. Similarly, this use IEEE 754 standard to store the double. Okay, also write what's is range of double and what's full form for IEEE. I'm sure that you would be learning this in your COA. Next, think about num. Okay, here's you can see num can hold both types of data. That's integer and double. Then how to convert string to integer, double, or num? Now for converting integer, you can use the function int dot parse. Then write the string of integer. Then for double, it's similar. Double dot parse num dot parse and then string. Okay. Now guys, can you guess the output for this? I will pause the video. Now guys, guess the output for this. Kindly pause the video and write the output in the comment section. Okay. Let's uncomment it and guess what? It gave an error. Why? Because int can't store the double value. But you may say, Tanay, here you say A1 can store int and A1 can also store double. But you can see here data type is num and here it's int. So it's invalid. Okay. Now guess the output for this double. ABC is equal to 1.0. Okay, now I have to comment it. ABC is equal to 10. Now, will it give an error? Guess what? Okay, pause the video, write in comment, and guess what? It didn't give. Why? Because 10 can be stored as 10.0 also. Understood? Okay. How to convert a number to a string? Here you can see syntax string s1 is equal to a1 dot to string. It is the easiest way to convert anything to string. You just have to write dot um, parameter dot to, instead of parameter we should write object dot to string. It may be your list, okay, which we will be learning in the future, or object or number, anything. Now let's move to our next section, which is string. String are an important part of any programming language, can be defined as sequence of characters. Okay. Let's move to our VS Code. String dot dart. Okay. Here you can see var s1. Okay, you can write a string in single quote as well, double quotes as well. Okay. Okay. If you have to use apostrophe sign, you can use delimiters, footer delimiters. Okay. You may use them in the C, as suppose you want to use a backslash, you simply don't write backslash, you write two of them. Okay, similar to this. Then now let's how in string interpolation work. Interpolation means I have to use the variable string or anything into the my string. Let's see what I mean. Here var s is equal to hello, my name is name dot to uppercase. Here we should be able to see full in capital name All the data should be capital. Let's run the program. Run without debugging. We'll be seeing the output. Okay, I didn't print s. Print s. Now we can see output. Run without debugging. Hello, my name is Nick. Okay. We can see there are our many string methods s dot, okay, ends with, which is a boolean, okay, ends with later. Suppose name e. Let's see what is use. Without debugging, look, here it gives false. Since s end with capital E, now we will make it capital E. Now let's look what's the output. Okay, you can see now here it's true. And if you read the documentation, you can see word assertion. It doesn't mean anything else. It means if you use assertion and then s equal to s4. Let's see capital A assert. Okay, you can, if you say s is equal to s4, now you can clearly see s is not equal to s4. Then this will give you error while running. Instead of just writing false, you can see error here. Hey, unexpected exception. Okay, here we can see s is equal to 4. It's not true. Okay, don't fear new keywords. Just run description about them. Sorry, read description about them. The language. Okay, here if I want to print the length of s, just write print s dot length, and yeah, we should be able to see like 21. Okay, I'm not counting it. Make sure you count it. Check it, and it's true. There are many string methods. S dot is empty, is not, okay. Replace starts with, end with, split. Okay, here you can see all of them. Okay, I would not be covering them. Now let's move to next topic, which is our boolean. Okay, boolean. Boolean are the values which have only two states. First is true and second is false. In C, you may not have booleans, but here you have booleans. This I will write bool, yeah, um, argument assertion equals TRE. Okay, bool assertion equals to, now print if you may be familiar with panels assertion, then write hey assertion is true. Now let's run. Look, hey assertion. Now let's set it to false. Okay. Oh, spelling mistake. Now look, we got nothing because we didn't write the condition for else. Okay, we will learning this in the next part, so I just skipped it. Okay, now you know what are the numbers. Okay, how to define them in int, double, num. Okay, how to interchange them, their hierarchy, and how to write strings, booleans, Now let's move forward to list. Okay, one of the most important type of data type and which you would be using rigorously in your Flutter apps. Okay, it's similar to an array. Okay, in Dart, arrays are list object, so most people just call them list. Okay, here we can see how to declare them. We write list or var, then name equals, and then in the square bracket we write the elements. Here's the code, which it's same from the VS Code. We will go list now cross it. Okay, now let's look list. How to declare list of integers? Here I have written list data type, then integer int, then give it names, and then use square bracket and write the different elements. Then how to define a list of strings? Okay, here strings. It's dynamic. You can see. Okay, fire is dynamic, and this is not. We'll see in the next part. Okay, now guys can guess the output. Okay. um let's give 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5. Let's uncomment. Oh, it give error. Why? Because we had used list of integers, but we can see they are the strings, so it gives an error. Then we can see various list method. Okay, as a fire list five is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if we are to add the element in the list at the end, just write list dot add of 5. Okay, and if you want to add the insert the element in between the list, then you can simply write list uh, name dot insert. Okay, and in the first argument you have to write the index. Okay, here also the lists are using zero based indexing. That means the first element is at zero index. So if I want to change this to what will be the index, guys? It will be 1, and it's 1 comma suppose what should we 100. Okay, all right, let's see if 100 gets inserted before 2 and 5 get inserted at the last. Run the code. Run. I have to uncomment this. Run. Okay, here we see 100 is before 2 and 5 is inserted at the end. Now, okay, what if you and want to add a whole list to another list? You can simply write list name dot add all and list. Okay. Now, what if I want to remove an element? It's simple. List dot remove dot remove and write the element of, suppose I want to remove 100. I will write, and now you cannot see 100 here. Let's rerun the program and see here 100 is gone. Okay, suppose I don't know the element but I know the index. How will you remove it? Then you can simply do it at remove at and then write the index. And now what should we remove? Let's remove 3. 3 is our index second, so 2. Now let's check if 3 is removed or not. Oh, 3 is at index second. 3 should be removed. Oh, here's the catch, guys. After inserting 100 at the 1, the index of the 3 became 3. And see how to write 3 here. And see, you can see 3 is gone. Bye bye 3. Now, okay. Now what if, let's look at the output, how to list get added. List 5 and list 1. You remember guys, what is list 1? It's 1, 3, 3, 4. Now you can see here to here, it's list 5 and here to here is list 1. Okay. Now what if I want to print the first element of the list? Okay. You can simply write list dot first. Okay. Here you can see first element is 1. Okay. Similarly, you may have understood that there will be list dot last is 5 dot last. Here you can see. Then update a list. Okay. What if I want to update a position? Now just let's uncount it. It is similar to array. First print the list 5 and then update at list 2. Let's see what will be the output. Okay. We have to run. Here you can see the second position the index second is now changed to 10. Here it was 3 at the first, now it's 10. Okay. Now Tanay, what if I want to print each element of the list? Okay. Uh, can I use for loop? Yes, you can. Like this for inti to list dot length and then use print statement. Okay. Is this an efficient approach? No, it's not. Okay. It's one of the bad programming approach. You can simply write list dot for each and print. Okay. We will be running about this how it works in the next function. Okay, I will show you there. And now, for now, let's just see what output we get. Run without debugging. And here you can see all the elements are printed here. Okay, here we can see 2 in front of the 3. It is just saying that the 3 is written 2 times. There are various list methods there and uncountable which you have to use and learn. You can read them from the documentation which are shown here. And another important list dot reverse. Here it's how you can reverse a list. It's off the copilot for now. Now let's move to our next topic. Now let's understand what are maps. Maps are the objects that have keys and value pair. What they have? Key value pair. Okay. You should note that the key and value data type may not be same. Okay. They can be different. Here we can see a map gift in which a key is string and a value is also string. You can see the first example. First is key and value is patronage. Okay, second is second key and turtle doves. Fifth, golden rings. Okay. In the second example, you can see noble gases. Okay. This is atomic number, which is an integer, and this is string. Okay. We will try to code a map in our VS Code. Let's create a file named map.dart. Okay, just create it. Write a void. Okay. This is the starting point of the code. So without writing void main, code will not work. Okay. Then we need to create a map. Let's create a map of noble gases map. Okay. Now you can specify the data type of the key and value as Okay, here I shown here. First write int, then string, then name. Okay, name क्या है हमारा? Atoms या फिर noble gases. Use follow the convention. EASCS. Okay, equals. And now we will write our hmm, first helium is 2. Okay, 2 is helium. Oh, look, here it came. Since we have to use integer, then 2, 2, 8, 10. What's next? Neon and argon. Neon and neon. And then 18th. Check for spelling. Argon. Okay. Now, if I want to check that my map of noble gases contain an element with atomic number 15. Okay. How will I check? So I will choose the name of the map dot contains key. Okay. Contains key and write the name 15. Okay. Atomic number. Let's print it. Okay. So we can know its value. Okay. Now let's run the function. See, we get false since our map don't contain the key named 15. Okay. Next, this is dot. Okay. How will you add the entry in the map? Okay. Add all to add all the map entries. Okay. This is the second method and this is the first. Add a single element. So noble gases of 10. Okay, let's see the periodic table since I don't remember it. Kindly ignore the background noise. Here we can see at 36 we have krypton. So noble gases 36 is equal to krypton. Look, it's that easy to add a single element in map. Okay, now what if I have to add multiple elements or map inside the map? Okay, now what's there? Xenon and radon at 54 and 86. Okay, 54 and 86. So 54, here it goes. Non. Okay, then krypton. I forgot. Krypton at, sorry, radon at 86. Radon. Okay, now we will print. For each field key value print p. Okay, we are using interpolation. Then dollar value. Okay, I have taught this in the string. Okay, then okay, write the function here first. Then we'll write the function here. Okay, so what we will see? Three maps. So let's run the program. Debug console. Okay, first look to helium, neon, and argon. This was our first map. Then we can see a krypton. Okay, and then we can see also xenon radon. Hence, okay, we have also seen how to add an element. Now we will see how to remove an element. Okay, so let's comment it out. So now I want to remove helium. Okay, so I will write the name of the map dot remove. Okay, here you can write the key name. That's two. Okay, there are various other methods like remove air, which you can see in the documentations. Here you can see the output is neon and argon only. Okay, all right. Now let's move towards next part. That is variable declaration. Okay. I am taking this after the data types. There's a good reason for that, which you will know further. Okay. Let's come to a VS Code and variables. Okay. Now the reason which I am taking it after the data type is that you should able to understand what is data type and how they works, what is null values and etc. Okay. So I am taking it after it. Now variable x, okay, we have declared. Okay, all nice. Now we do var x is equal to 10. Okay, given variable, give it a name. Okay, now, okay, now what's the difference? Okay, if I do dynamic x2 equals to 20. Let's see what happens if I do x is equal to string, any string. Okay, and let's see what happen. I do x is equal to sorry, x2, there it will be x2 is equal to, see the difference? Here we got error. Okay, here we got the error. So why we got error in using while using var and why not using dynamic? Okay, so the definition states that we don't know the the data type of x while we are, okay, initiating it. Okay, but when we assign it a value, okay, just like here we assign x3 is equal to string. Now it has a fixed data type. Okay, has a fixed data type, but its value can be changed. जैसे मैं यहाँ पे कर रहा हूँ new value. Okay, didn't give me error. Here you can see. But in the case of dynamic, I can change the x's value as well as data type. Like here, I will change it to double 1.23 E5. Okay, if you remember the double data types, okay, then you can easily calculate what's written here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's all set. Okay, you have had name. Then comes to the part as null set. Look, if I am using a value with a question mark like this data type with a question mark, then What does this mean? It means that the value of this variable may be null, or it may be a string. Why it may be string? Because we have defined it may be string and there is a question mark sign. Okay, let's check if we can define string to null. Okay, string is equal to null. Yes, we can define it. Okay, hence proved. Now you can see late modifier. So what's the late modifier? Okay, the late modifier is a modifier after which we can late suppose that I told it later. Suppose take variable names ASTF. Okay, okay. Now give cost panel file. Okay. Now look, what will happen if I am going to use this ASTF before its initialization? Okay, here it is showing us direct error, but we will run anyway. Okay, run anyway. Look what we got. We got error. Late variable ASDF without initializer is definitely unassigned. Okay, since the variable cannot is not assigned, as we cannot use its value. But if I just use var, okay, var, then let's check what will happen. The error is gone now. Look what we got. We got null. Okay, then how the magic happened? So the late variables, okay, late variables are the variables which needed to be assigned before the use, okay, which needed to be assigned before the use. Okay, now your homework is writing var versus dynamic in the comment section. The late modifier, notes on late modifier. Now we will go to final and const. Okay, final and const. Now you can see I had here written a string, final string k. Okay, now I will try to change its value. Okay, let's see. Okay, existing as a new value, and we got an error. Okay, what does it say? The final variable k can only be set once. Okay, hence it means that k can be only set once. Okay, then so now I will try to set the const variable new value. Okay, okay, can't be assigned new value. Same thing, same, but different, right? Okay. So now what's the difference between final and const? Okay. So what's the difference? Okay. While defining final, okay, you can see here we can assign it value later. Okay. We know the data type. Okay. In this case, we know data type. So we are assigning it a string later. But in the case of constant, we cannot assign it the value later. Here you can see we have to assign it while it is defined. Okay, here we can assign it after definition also. So now this is final. Okay, okay. Now you can use cost in the list also. Yes. Now your homework is to find, okay, it's to find that is it possible to change this like this. Okay, in in C++ or C it is possible. Okay, but you have to check is it possible in Dart. Okay, I type is it possible in Dart. Now let's move forward to our next topic. We have seen const and final. Okay, now let's see operators in Dart. Okay, okay. Unary postfix, increment, decrement, brackets, all the type of brackets. Then okay, here it's a new variable. Let me show. Okay, this is new variable which we will see in oops. Okay, so don't worry. And prefix operators, okay, multiplicative, additive, shift. Okay, I think you are seeing this sign first thing. So don't worry, it's unsigned right shift and it's signed right shift. Okay, what's the difference between signed right shift and unsigned right shift? Okay, let's see it in our VS Code. So let's open the operator. So I am declaring an integer, negative integer 20. Okay, int val minus 20, correct? Then val int copy also declare minus 20. So print, what do we print? Val by shift by 2 and print copy shift by 2. Now let's see what's the difference. Okay, first we will see for the positive and then for the negative. Okay, run without debugging. Okay, no difference, both output are same. Okay, if you are confused, 2 is written because the 5 is output 2 times. Let me check recording is on. Okay. Because 5 is output for 2 times, hence it is written as 2 here. Now let's check for the negative one. Okay, okay. Now let's run the program. Now you see, here's the difference. First, for an unsigned, for an unsigned right shift, and second is signed right shift. Okay, now you need to find what's the difference between unsigned right shift and signed right shift. Okay, for CSC students, this is in your course. Okay, and for the students from the other branch, okay, you may need to Google it. Okay, so I am giving it to you as a homework. CSC students can tell. Okay. Now, another type of operator which would concern you, that is okay, spread operator, because you are seeing this operator first time. Okay, here you can see. So, what if I want to use list 1, okay, in list 2? Okay, that means I want to use all the elements from the list 1 in the list 2. I will just use the 3 dots, that is spread operator, to enter all the elements from list 1 to list 2. Okay, just print the list 2. We'll see what will be the output. Okay, comment it out so that it will be focused. Now we can see, okay, 1 2 3 4. This is from list 1 and 7 5. Okay, this is IMP and will be, okay, I have written is used in columns in Flutter. Okay, I will make sure to show its practical use in the next lecture. Then there comes that conditional statement. Okay, this is the most important. This is also the most important type of thing which you would be using in your Flutter application. Suppose I want to color a box red. Okay, if the condition is true, if condition is true, I want to color the box red. And if it's false, then I want to color it as white. Okay. So here you can give colors name instead of the integer names. Okay, so let's check for the condition 1 equals to 2. We all know 1 is equal to 2 is false. And so what will be the output? Minus 10. Here, the thing you write here becomes output, sorry, initialize x when condition is true, and the thing you write here will initialize x when condition is false. Now let's check it. To minus 10 comes here. It's minus 10. Okay, I think now operator part is complete. Don't worry, I will tell this in the next part. Okay, if else, I think all of us know if else statement. Then come to the next part. If else if, okay, if else is, if all of us know, then decision making in that. Okay, switch case. Switch case in Dart is similar to that of in Java, C or C++. Okay. Here, switch, we write an expression. What will be the value of the expression? It will match to the one of the cases. Okay. To which case it matches, the body of that case is then implemented. Okay. We are writing the break statement as the code should not run further the break statement. Okay. Default value. Okay, if none of the case matches, then loops in that. Okay, we all know about for loop, so I would be skipping it. Then do while loop and while loop. Okay, so first see the while loop. Okay, guess the output of this. Okay, what do you think output of this will be? So I is equal to 0, say I less than 5, print. Okay, 0 1 2 3 4, right? Do I need to code it? Okay. Now here comes the catch. Okay, for int I is equal to 0, do while I less than 5. Okay, what will be the output? Okay, let's see in the VS Code. So many of students get confused here. Will the output reach 5? Since the definitions say condition is checked after the body is implemented. Okay, condition is checked after the body is implemented, but um, it's the half definition actually. It definition is like for the first time. Okay, just for the first time the body is implemented without seeing the condition. Okay, so here you can see the output, last output will be 4. Now let's run the loop, see if it's true or false. Here you can see the last output is 4. Okay, the condition is checked. Okay, for the only the first iteration, the condition is not checked, while on all the other iteration, the condition is checked. Okay, let's do a similar. So now what will be the output of this? Guess. Okay, 89 6. What's the output? 89 6. Now let's move forward to our next part. Break and continue. Okay, we have seen break in the switch. Okay, we can also use break in the loop to stop the loop and continue to skip the iteration. Okay, function. Now what are the functions? Okay, functions are the building blocks of any programming language because okay, it's a block of code that performs specific tasks. What did function do? It performs specific tasks. Okay, and can be used multiple times hence solving the problem of code redundancy. Here we have written a simple function. Okay, say hi. Next, move forward. Positional parameters. What did I say? Positional parameters. Okay. So what are the parameters? Let's go to the function. So parameters parameters are nothing but the values you are passing to the function. Okay. Here what we pass? Name. Okay. So there are two types of function. What is a parametered function and non-parametered function? Just like this. This is a type of non-parametered function. Okay. And say hi is a type of parametered function. Okay. Nice. Very nice. Move forward. Then positional parameters. Okay. What are the positional parameters? Here you can see if I have to call the sign of one, how will I call? I have to call like sign up one, then pass it an email, okay, then password. We'll keep it same. Name, phone, date of birth. Okay. Now what did I do? I had to remember the position. Okay. I had to remember the position of each parameter. Suppose I do like this. Okay. Now let's see what will be the output. Let me run the program. Let comments it out for a sec. Run without debugging. Look, what did it write? Email, password, okay, name, and we have to also write print phone and print GOB. Now let's run. Okay, now what did it do? So while writing for phone, it write DOB, and instead of DOB, it write phone. So is it a mess? Yes, it's complete mess. If you are coding and do such a mistake, then your whole logic for the app or here for the sign function is gone, is not correct. Okay, so we cannot take a risk if we have such a long number of parameters. Okay, so what did Dart do? Dart created name parameters. Okay, for creating name parameters, you have to just write curly braces and write the name of the parameters and their data types. Okay. Now you are seeing here a keyword required. What this required keyword means? This means that you have to give the value for this parameter. It's necessary. You can. It's not like you cannot assign the value for the parameter. Okay. But these are the optional parameters. What does optional parameters mean? You may give their value or not give their value. Okay, like here you can see I have not given the value for the name. Okay, sign up 3. Sign up 3 function. Okay, here you can see email. Okay, now password, and what is the next? Name. Okay, here I have not given the value for the phone, okay, but given value for the name. So let's now print what will be the output. Look, name parameters Tana at the rate pass, and it's your name. Okay, it didn't print phone. Okay, You can also use default parameters such that if phone is missing, then I would be using it's a string now. So you can see it write the phone's default value. Okay, nice. Uh, can we use default parameters or optional parameters in uh, positional parameters? Yes, you can use like this. You have to use a square bracket and define the data type. Okay, but you have to use question mark. Okay, I am just saying here question mark for simplicity. Okay, for before sorry after the data type so that it can be null. What does this mean? This can be null. We have learned about it in the variables. Okay, now let's move to our PPT. Okay, so what's next? Optional parameters done, positional parameters done, name parameters done. Now coming to the most important part of the Dart language. Okay, why I'm saying this? Okay, if you are aiming to build apps in the Flutter, you can see in the Dart pad. Let me visit it. Got it. Okay, everything you write is in oops. Okay, let me show code for our default app counter, which you have seen in your previous lecture. Remember the counter app? Okay. Here you can see we are using classes, extents, okay? These all are the concept of oops, okay? Currently you can ignore other things, okay? Here you can see final cost, okay? Which you have learned, but except that class, extents, all the other things, okay? Are all the concept of the oops. So I am saying that okay, oops is important. Now, what are the concept in the oops? Okay, it's class, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. What the oops contains? Classes, objects, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, and inheritance. Now let's move forward. Class in that. Okay, what does a class mean? Okay, a class is a blueprint. Okay, class is just like a blueprint. Okay, जैसे होता है ना नक्शा होता है बिल्डिंग का ओके तो आपकी बिल्डिंग असलियत में खड़ेगा नहीं जस्ट उसका क्या है नक्शा है उसी तरह से क्लास होता है इज ए ब्लूप्रिंट ओके so now what are the object in the class object is an instance okay object is an instance of the class okay जो आपकी जो बिल्डिंग बनी है ना वो क्या है उस ग्राफ नक्शे का एक इंस्टेंस है okay विच एग्जिस्ट इन रियल ओके ग्राफ आपका एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है कि कहीं पे नहीं एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है पर बिल्डिंग तो आपकी कर रहा है सो बिल्डिंग क्या होगी हमारी ऑब्जेक्ट होगी तो यार मुझे है ना वाइवा में एक क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था ठीक है इफ यू आर ऑब्जेक्ट देन व्हाट इज योर क्लास ओके ओके आप समझ रहे हो अगर कोई आदमी है समझो रमेश तो रमेश इज अ ऑब्जेक्ट देन व्हाट इज हिज क्लास ओके ठीक है आपको इसका आंसर करना है देन वी कैन सी कॉलेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स इन डार्ट ओके सो पहले हम कंस्ट्रक्टर देख लेंगे उसके बाद में देखते हैं व्हाट आर द कॉलेबल ऑब्जेक्ट्स लेट्स मूव टू आवर VS कोड classes okay here's how we are defining the class writing the keyword class okay c is small then class name defining the variables okay then defining the constructor okay defining the methods of the class okay now these variables are called the instance variable okay and what if I write static keyword static mrp is equal to 100 okay 100 100 now let's see My cookie, your cookie. CQ, C2Q. Now we say eat from CQ and C2Q dot. Okay, eating my cookie, eating the your cookie. You got it? Okay, since these are all the different, since the instance variable have different values for the different objects. Okay, now let's see. Okay, here we have to use a data. Okay, now let's see if I make the value of MRP to 1000 in here. Okay, now what will I get for C2Q CQ dot getter printed. Now let's see what's the output. Okay, here you can see here it is 1000, here it is also 1000. What does this mean? This means that the value of the static variable. What does this mean? Value of the static variable is same for all the instances of that class. Okay, all the instances of that class. Okay, okay. Difference between static and instance variable done. Constructor. Okay, the constructor is a function that initialize the values, variables, instant variables of the class. Here you can see. Now let's move to with the callable of callable object. So when you create a class and wants the constructor to return something, okay, to return something, you can use call method. Okay, call method to make it do something. Okay. Here it's written to allow an instance of your Dart class to be called like a function, implement the call method. Let's see, I have written it or not. Okay, I have not written it. Now let's see when I create an instance of this, what does happen? Okay. What does this write? Instance of a person is. Okay. So, right? When I use p.call, it says person is initialized. Okay. It's working like a function, right? Hence, it's called as callable object. Now let's move to encapsulation. Okay. The encapsulation is bundling of data and methods that operate on the data with one unit, such as class. Okay. Now let's see in the VS Code. What does this mean? Okay. Let's take the example of a bank account. So we don't want we don't want anyone to directly access all the personal details of a person. Okay. So what we do, we make the fields private. Okay. In that, how we make the field private? Okay, if anyone is familiar with the oops in Java, we write their private keyword, but here we just use a underscore. Okay, what does using the underscore means? That you can only use this variable inside this file only. Okay, inside this file you can only use this variable. If you want to use it in any other file, you will have to use the getter and setter method, hence providing a better security. Okay, now let's move forward the polymorphism. Okay, what is polymorphism? Polymorphism, okay, polymorphism means many forms. Okay, what does this mean? Many forms. It allows objects or different classes to be treated as object of a common superclass. Okay, here you can see class animal. Okay, it has function sound. Okay, now cat extend the animal. Okay, it has function sound, but it prints meow. Okay, animal. Okay, you create animal with cat animal, then sound, it is outputting meow. Okay, here you can see object of a type class can is treated as object of type animal, which is a superclass. Okay, now let's move to the abstraction. Okay, abstraction is a process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality. Okay. Okay. This definition might be confusing, but let's understand it in the simple terms. Okay. What does abstraction means? Okay. Abstract class means the class in which you just define the methods. Okay. You define the methods, but not define what they are doing. Okay. So, uh, for example, if we take the example of shape, we draw the shape. Okay. Just the method is defined. Okay. Not saying what is it doing, etc. Not writing the body of the method. Okay. Now let's understand what's the abstraction means. Okay. Suppose I am writing here a function void draw, which is same, sorry, which is included for all the types of shape. So class square, we'll just copy. Okay. Now you can see draw is a function which is included in all the type of classes of the shapes. Okay, circle, square, you can create rectangle also, but it is having a different body in all the cases. Hence, to defining a template for the classes, which methods or variables are to be included, we use the help of the abstract class. Okay. What if I create a square? Square. Now let's write square dot draw. Let's see what will be the output. It's drawing circle and drawing square. Okay, I hope you understand what is the abstraction. Okay, it's nothing but in simple terms, we are creating a template for a class. Okay, then we are going to see what is enumerators. Okay, enumerators are one of the most important things in the programming. Okay, I am saying important. Okay, many times, but in the reality, all the things in the programming are important and are included because we have to use them in the programming and we know how much the important are. Okay, so that's why it's nothing like I am saying everything important. Okay, suppose I am using weather as snow string. Okay, just I am using a string sunny. Okay, many times in my code, what will happen if I do sunny equal to Siu? Okay, it will obviously give false because small s is not equal to capital S. Okay, so to avoid this mistake, what we do weather dot sunny equals. Okay, now we will uh, now there's no chance of error due to the spelling mistake. Hence, we are using enums. There are other importance of enums which you can see from the documentation. Okay, now let's move forward. What after the enums? After enums, there is mixins. Okay, mixins are the way of defining code that can be reused in multiple class inheritance. They are inherited to provide member implementation and masses. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, all the functions in the mixins. Okay, all the functions in the mixins are extended. Okay, are extended or mixed with the class. Okay, how do you use mixin? We use with keyword. Okay, okay. Um, in Dart, we cannot use multiple inheritance. Okay, what does it mean by multiple inheritance? A single class inherits multiple superclasses. Okay, we cannot do that in Dart. Okay, similar in Java. So here comes the mixing. Suppose I have mixing clutch. Okay, and I have mixing accelerator. Okay. Then we have class named as manual car. Okay, all know manual car contains clutch, accelerator, and brake. Okay, so manual car with clutch and accelerator. Okay, then we have automatic cars. Okay, in automatic cars there's no clutch. Okay, it's automatic. So we have just accelerator. There is also brake. I'm just not considering it for the example. Okay, now. I have written a start function in both of them. Okay, accelerate and clutch. Okay, what does the accelerate function do? Print accelerator pushed and clutch released. Okay, let's now run the code. Now you can see manual car is starting, clutch released, accelerator pushed. Okay, now automatic car is starting, accelerator pushed. Okay, from this what we understand? We understand that a single property may be used by different unrelated classes. Okay, here we are using clutch and accelerator property. for different classes such as manual car and automatic car. Okay, so in that case, here comes the mixin, which will help us to reduce the code redundancy. Redundancy means duplication of the code. Now let's see what's the next. Okay, mixes. Okay, look here, it's given are used for code reusability, flexibility, simplicity, and avoiding ambiguities. Okay, okay. Then let's go to our next part. Oh, guys, Dash want to say something to you. Oops. Okay, Dash is tired. Okay, so I will be pausing the session for today. Next session is Flutter UI when you took 10:30 a.m. Okay, on Saturday, 15th of Feb 25. Okay, don't forget to watch. Okay, next. Thank you for today. Let's meet in the next session.